All right. Shalom. This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Barakah,
Barakadash.
Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. And to the few sincere Akwat that are diligently learning in silence. Shalom.
Shalom.
And with this live lesson, we're just going to go into this folly spirit that these people out here in Babylon or America, including and especially our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are known as the true children of Israel, are in. Because down here, all week, going into next Tuesday, is Mardi Gras or Carnival, which is just an event down here where people come down to engage in all manners of debauchery. And with my job, I'm around the city throughout the week. So I've been seeing these people just in this lackadaisical, spirit. It's the parade doesn't start till 5:30 in the afternoon, but I'm out at around like 9:30 in the morning, and people are already setting up and sitting, by the streets ready for the parade to start. Like just to catch some plastic beads, which, this holiday, just like all these other holidays, go back to worshiping pagan idols and gods. And for a season, you people have been allowed to, enjoy your time and enjoy the ways of this life. But with the times we are quickly coming into, all that laughter and joy is going to be turned into sorrow and mourning. And you Israelites out there who have been taking this time of liberty when this word was freely available to despise it, hey, you're going to regret it in that day when that judgment comes dead on your head. And, the Most High is going to put it in your mind to remember the prophets said these things were going to come, and that what? You shouldn't be spending this time, being a part of this world.
Okay, I got a quick one for you.
Con, you got it.
This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 21. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly.
Straight to work, you shit, and you wait for the next event to spark your interest. All that bread and circus, like going back to Rome. But what did that latter part say, Ike?
It says, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly.
But a man of understanding walketh uprightly. Hey, we know the times and the seasons that we're in. It's like everybody just forgot what happened on January 1st down here on Bourbon Street. Those people were in a folly spirit celebrating the so-called New Year's, which this ain't that wasn't the New Year's. And then what happened? Several people were taken back to the spirit world. But what about going on 2 months later? People are out here walking in the streets, lollygagging around like nothing happened. Just going to show how destitute of wisdom you are and how much of a fool you are. Which, what's that other one in Proverbs where it's like, you know, I'm on top of it. Pretty much, it's like a wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but a
Oh,
fool,
yeah.
kind,
The prudent man.
kind.
This is Proverbs 20. It's in there twice. I'll read 27 and 12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
And hey, it's a Friday night. You got the majority of people out down here, at the parades where anything could happen. But what? The men of the Lord and Abaratazai, you sincere Akim and Akwath, which you should already be in the spirit. You should just be sitting your ass at home and just being less involved in things. Of course, brothers and sisters, few sisters will go out and let their hair down, so to speak, every now and then. But that shouldn't be a constant thing. That's the thing of this world. You work Monday to Friday and then go out Friday night, Saturday, and then deal with the hangover on Sunday. That's all of this world. And coming into this truth, you should be growing in the spirit to what? you know, just not be in, that folly spirit. because with the times we're coming into, and Apostle Tahar is deemed 2025 to be what? The hopeful deliverance of the elect and the destruction of Esau, Edom. These judgments are just going to continue to ramp up out here. And, any move you make could very well be your last move because, judgment is just, it's ramping up. Not just on a small scale, but on a global scale as well. Every other day you're hearing about World War III, sanctions, pestilences, everything lining up with these end times prophecies. So with that being the case, what manner of person ought you to be?
Yeah, these are real serious times. So if you're not serious, what does that say about you? Basically a fool.
Kind of says what, you're destitute of wisdom.
Destitute of wisdom.
You said there was another one in there too?
Oh, it's the same. It's in there twice. It's the same precept.
I'm gonna get this one real quick. This is Proverbs 17 and 24. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the world. And the brother Kaya says it down here all the time. The world is very strong. The world can pull you in a they got that way, what they used to have that show, 1,000 Ways to Die. Well, hey, this world can pull you in 1,000 different ways that ultimately lead to what? Dying.
Yeah, that nigga Tupac said, "Death around the corner." That's Babylon, man. King David said, "This is the valley of the shadow of death." There's no assurity of your life here, and then you're around all these people that got different demons on them, different spirits on them, like the brother was going into, different judgments on them. Ultimately, the Lord's going to kill these people, and you hanging around them, it's not a good idea. If you're a prudent man, you foresee the evil.
But yeah, we can get that Luke chapter 6 because right now these people are out thinking they're enjoying their weekend and having a good time, but what, this is quickly gonna turn turn towards a dead end to you, because to you Israelites that are spending this time of liberty, not taking heed to this grace period and the words of the prophets, the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, you're gonna pay for it in the latter end when that judgment comes.
This is the gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 6, verse 12. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast you out, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake.
Khan, before we actually continue in there, could you get me First Peter's chapter 4? You can read verses 1 to 4, Baba Kasha. Because as it said in Luke chapter 6, verse 22, blessed are ye, it's saying, blessed are you when men hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Because what? That means that you are truly not a part of this world, which we know the fashion of this world is quickly passing away. That means what? You're fashioning yourself towards the world to come, the eternal world of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And the more you truly grow in the spirit, the more you come to despise this world and want to have nothing to do with it. Because what you see, when you understand how the world is supposed to be run through the laws, statutes, and commandments, and just see what happens when it's not run by those things, you just see how chaotic and disorderly things are, and just how base, and animalistic these people are.
Yeah, that's one of the quickest ways you could tell whether or not someone's in the truth, by how much they hate this world. When you hear someone that says that they're an Israelite, they keep the commandments, this and that, but they start talking about 20-year plans, and we might be here another 1,000 years, and World War III is putting far out. Anyone who puts off the day of the Lord, ultimately they love this place and they want it to continue, which means they're not right in the head.
And we're gonna, after you get that Peter's, I'm gonna get this real quick. Salakia, just once you start rolling in the spirit, the precepts start flowing. But just to back you up, the quickest way to tell that somebody is a part of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is if they hate this world, because that is what it says all throughout the scriptures. And if you're a friend of the world, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has nothing to do with you. What, without naming names, this has been the hot topic, of the week. How can you call yourself a man of the Lord and then say, the Son of Man can come between now and, within 1,000 years? You're clearly not hastening the day, which means what? You're comfortable with this world. And if you're comfortable with this world, that means what? You're comfortable with wickedness.
Yeah. Let me get that, James.
You can, if you got I was going to ask you to get the 1 John, but you can get that James, and then we'll go to that John, Baba Kasha.
Yeah, I'm holding both.
Khan.
It's James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High.
Okay, straight to the point. If you're a friend of the world, you're what? At enmity, and you're an enemy of the Most High. And what did King David say? I hate them that hate thee. Because there's only two sides to a coin, heads or tails. There's only two sides to this world. You either love the world and hate the Lord, or you love the Lord and hate the world. There's simply no middle ground. And what did the first part of it say? You adulterers and adulteresses. That doesn't just go into physical adultery, it also goes into spiritual adultery, which plays into what? Conforming yourself after the fashions of this world. Getting drunk out of your mind like a brass monkey. You might understand that reference, Amawad. You're getting drunk out of your mind, going to catch some plastic beads, though you might catch a stray vehicle or a stray bullet out there. That's what the time, as we've been saying, the times we're coming into, when great judgment is going out, and only a fool would think otherwise and just continue to live in this fantasy that this world you've been accustomed to for what, the last 30, 40, 50 years is going to continue as it's been continuing.
This is Mr. John. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world. Love not the world. Oh, you got it?
Oh, no, I was just saying, start at verse 15.
Okay. Yeah, 1 John 2 and 15. It says, love not the world. Wait a minute. I thought God so loved the world. What's going on here?
Exactly.
It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Straight to the point. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. And what are the things in this world? These holidays, which go back to these pagan gods and rituals. Being in this system Esau Edom is set up. Democracy, demonocracy, the rule of the demon, believing in feminism or rainbow rights, thinking everybody's supposed to love each other and come together, or what? That American death style. I work as a slave on that hamster wheel Monday to Friday, and then I go get drunk and commit adultery on the weekends, and then on Sunday I go to church and listen to some crook in a 3-piece suit take my money and tell me even more sweet lies.
Yeah, and then rinse and repeat. Do the same thing next week after that, over and over again.
You can read down to verse 17, Baba Kasha.
This 1 John 2, I'm gonna read 15 again. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And that's plain, man. The love of the Father is not in you. If the Lord, first of all, the first sign that the Lord loves you is that he gives you fear. You fear him. And when you fear him, you put off the ways of this world, and then you start believing in the truth and the promises given to the nation of Israel, and you set your affections on things above. Let me get that real quick.
And I got a precept to back up that statement you just made. When you start loving the Lord, what? You start fearing. And as it says, fear is the beginning of wisdom. And what exactly are you fearing? Going off from the ways of the Lord, which when your spiritual eyes and ears have been opened, you see that it's everything contrary to the scriptures. But this is Sirach chapter 18. I'm read verse 27. A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time. You got it, Doc.
Con. That goes back into that Proverbs. All right. Fools love folly, they love wickedness, and they don't observe the times. Because if you understood the time you were in, you would know judgment goes out every day. All right. The Lord's mercy is renewed every day, and the Lord's judgment goes out every day. So you would beware of offending the Lord because you fear him. And you fear him because you love him. Those things are synonymous in the scriptures. You know, this world has this, which again, going back to the world, this world looks at love and fear as like, okay, you either love somebody. If you love somebody, you accept them as they are. You accept everything about them. Everything's all pleasant. And, or you fear someone, meaning you're terrified of them. There's something horrific. No, you're supposed to fear your father. You're supposed to reverence your father. You're supposed to love your father. Those things are synonymous. But this world's idea of love is all about feelings. It's all effeminate. And it's really, it causes you to love evil and wickedness and actually hate the truth because the truth is going to correct you. The truth is going to prevent you from so-called having fun. All right. Our fun is being filled with the joy of the spirit, being around like-minded men who aren't wicked. Like the brother was saying earlier, if you're a man of the Lord, wickedness is going to bother you. You're going to be irked by everything in this world.
Just to back it, you made a beautiful point because the conception of love in this world is you love people, all faults included.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, what you should love your cousin who's a heroin addict. You know, disregard the heroin. You know, I love him because he's cool with me. You know, these women that are out here committing adultery. You know, deleting their children, just destroying their mental well-being in their bodies. Oh, that's my family member. That's my home girl. I love her. It's all based off of, as the brother was saying, emotions and not want to hurt people's feelings. But what? They got that thing, tough love, which you tell somebody, look, you're screwing your entire life up. And that person may not like that, tough love when it comes down. But later on down the line, when they see how much you were looking out for them and how much their life improved of it, they're gonna love you that much more. But
Yeah.
if you just take you're in that take me as I am or take them as they are spirit, you're leading somebody clearly down a path to death and destruction, and you really hate that person.
Yeah. And that's really the way of this world. Like if you have a strict parent, when you grow up, you look back like, man, if they weren't that strict, I could have ended up like this person, that person. We all go to school with people that end up in jail. They end up being degenerates. Why? Because their structure that they had at home or lack of structure, they didn't have that tough love. You appreciate it when you get older. And the men of the Lord, we appreciate the strictness of the scriptures. We appreciate the discipline, the statutes, which are limitations, the boundaries to keep us from doing too much, man.
And that's that goes into us being tried and refined as that gold. Brothers always give that example. I guess they call it a metallurgist who refines gold and silver. It starts off rough and coarse, but what, through that harsh refining process, that heat, what, it purifies it, and you see your reflection in it, which is what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh love is doing to us. It's cutting off the ways of this world, that old man, and putting us in the image of our heavenly Father, in the image of true righteousness, true love and true justice.
Yeah, and the love of this world leads to dross. All right, you tell somebody, look, imagine a piece of metal surrounded by dirt, soot, impurities. It's gold, but it's not shining. It's not polished at all. And you just say, oh, it looks fine the way it is. That goal is never going to reach its true potential. Or you have to be honest enough to say, okay, you're gold, but you're surrounded by filth right now. You have to clean that filth off of you, and that's the opposite of the love of this world. Are you telling fat women that they're thick? You telling stupid niggas that they're deep? All right, this world is all about giving people pretty lies so that they don't have to change anything about themselves, and so they never improve. This truth is the exact opposite. You realize, man, I'm going off. Even when I'm doing the right thing, I could do more. Even when I'm, improving in one area, there's another area I'm lacking in. The scriptures give you a constant, like a mirror, like this is what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong. You need to fix this. And ultimately, you come to the conclusion that you need to be changed. You need to be delivered out of these bodies and delivered out of Babylon. That's the conclusion of the scriptures. This place
Okay.
has to go.
You had a precept?
Yeah, real quick. This is to back up the 1 John 2:15. This is Colossians 3:2. It says, set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth.
Straight to the point. Set your affection on things above, which is what? The ways of our Heavenly Father and His Son, and not the ways, and set not your affections on the things beneath, which is going to go back into that John, because it says, this world passeth away, which, we can clearly see this world is passing away. And, it's getting so pronounced out here that even the average, Babylonian can see it. Hence why you've got so many people going on to social media asking what's going to happen next. You know, we're living in the collapse of an empire. Society's not supposed to be this way. People are mourning for the wickedness that's just abounding out here. They just can't, they know something's wrong, but they just don't have the answers because Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is not dealing with them, which, shows you Israelites that understand this word, just how precious it is that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai chose you to understand and see that not only is this world wicked, but what the answer to it is.
Yeah. And those of us that have Yahweh Shai, we're the only people that have the truth. Everybody else, like the brother said, they're looking for answers. You have people that know, for example, you have people that figured out that the food is poison. So their solution is to go vegan, not realizing that the fruit is also fake. It's filled with pesticides. That's not a solution. They know the problem, but they don't know the solution. Then you got these red pill niggas. They know that the Babylonian women are finished. Their solution is to get a passport and go to Thailand and buy hookers. That's not a solution, but they know the problem. All right, you have the so-called truther movement. They know that the political system is all bought and paid for. Their solution is to what? To be a libertarian or vote for Trump or whoever. Like they understand the problem, but they don't have the answer. This truth is the only thing that gives you the actual answer. These are the problems. All right, the wrong people are in rulership. They need to be taken out of power and brought to justice. And there needs to be a righteous government set up over the earth, which is going to happen underneath Yahweh Shai. That's the only answer.
Oh, I was just going to say, they're trying to cure the symptoms, but not the disease.
Yeah. Because ultimately they love this world. Even though they know what's wrong with it, they still love it. They still love to live in a world where they could go to McDonald's and buy, plastic food. Even if they know it's wrong, they like to have the convenience of it. They love this world. Ultimately, no matter how much they complain, Jake will talk about the so-called white man all day, but then when you talk about taking him out of power and putting him in slavery, then all of a sudden, oh, we can't do that. That'll make us no better than them. So really, they love the so-called. They just like to have something to complain about.
Hey, just to back up that point you were making, the love of this world doesn't get you to what? Change and improve yourself. Because truly taking yourself out of this world is what? Not taking yourself away from the conveniences of everything. Because Esau did that on purpose. He created a society that makes it convenient to your flesh to get you what? Addicted to it, like a junkie. And a junkie never wants to have an intervention to get off those drugs. They have to go through what? Rehab, and just going cold turkey, which gives them the shakes and just that withdrawal, which is a bitch. But once they get past that withdrawal, what do you see? They start to get healthy again, and they start to function normally. And that's what this truth did. It put us through that spiritual withdrawal, which brothers and sisters are on different levels of their withdrawal, but what? They're not going back. They're not going back to the vices of this world. They're hanging on tight for dear life.
God. That's a beautiful point because, when Esau, like the brother said, he made the world to where it's convenient to feed your flesh. Then you come into the truth. You try to become spiritual. You put off the flesh, and you're surrounded by temptation. And that's ultimately, every man has his own trial. But like the brother said, we go through withdrawals. It's like man, I missed that. Then the more you grow in wisdom, you realize, man, that's wicked, man. You don't miss it anymore. Certain brothers, you might have experimented with different drugs. Brothers all committed adultery in the world. These things. When you come into the truth, it's like, man, that was killing me. That was death.
Yeah, the precept you were looking for?
No, but I'll keep going in that John though.
Kind of. Then we'll jump to that First Peter's.
God. This is back in 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that, that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
And going back to that Proverbs, what does it say? A fool's eyes are in the ends of the world. So a fool's eyes are in the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And all throughout the scriptures, what does it say about pride? That Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to bring down that great judgment for the great pride these people have been walking in. But the latter end of that verse 16 says, these are not of the Father. Straight to the point. The Lord loves a humble and a contrite spirit, and also what? An obedient son and daughter, following after, the laws that were put down by the Father.
God. It says, verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
Straight to the point. But the world and the lust thereof passeth away, which again we can clearly see. Going to social media, you got people complaining about the economy and bad things that are coming, but you've also got people saying TV shows just aren't the same, food just isn't the same, going out just isn't the same, because what? You become strung out on Esau's society, and you need to get that you need to try to reach that ever bigger high to try to get that same feeling you used to get, but you're just completely worn out. You're worn out to the point to where you see, this just isn't the answer anymore. I need to change things up. But what? They don't have the answers. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai dealing with them. But the hopeful elect, they do. And the love of the Father is abiding in them. And as it said, those that abide in the way of the Father shall live forever. The elect, being saved through Jacob's trouble and being the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven, receiving that eternal life. And then, eventually the rest of the nation of Israel coming back through. But what? They're going to have that shame on them. They're going to know that what? I gave in to Esau and his system. And, that's just not how you want to come back.
Con, you want to get that, Peter?
Con, you can start at verse 1 and read down to verse 4. Because we're going to go back to that Luke chapter 6, but because what it said in verse 22 is, blessed are you when men hate you and revile you for the sake of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because brothers and your few sisters all have that testimony. When you started changing yourself, people people that were your so-called closest loved ones in the world started looking at you differently, and in a lot of cases started to despise you because you were becoming a completely different person. You weren't, taken by these base carnal instincts, which at the end of the day, brothers say it all the time. Our people have a conscience, and they know what they're doing is wrong. They just don't want to, take those steps to do right. So when you do it, they think you're shitting on them, and really it's just them seeing how weak they are, that they can't do it, but that you're doing it. As it says in Sirach, a whore envieth a righteous woman. Oh, Khan, you got it.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. This is I'll get straight to the point. This 2 Esdras 16:49. Like as a whore envieth a right and honest, virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity.
Straight to the point. And where the men of the Lord are looked at as the bride, the woman of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And when we were going off, we were being adulterous whores spiritually, going after Esau and his system or anything else our people indulge in. But what? Once we started coming back to the Heavenly Father, we became that righteous and virtuous woman. And we started looking at looking at these whores, the wicked of our people for what they are is something of disgust. Because when you're outside that paradigm of wickedness and you just see how much folly our people are living in, you can do nothing but be disgusted at them. and disgusted at the ways they've been living in. As it said, so shall righteousness, despise iniquity.
Yeah, when you grow up eating Popeye's chicken, that it's nothing to you. But then when you stop eating it, you drive by a Popeye, all you smell is grease. It's like, man, what the fuck? I used to eat that like all the time, man. All you smell is the grease. It's the same thing with wickedness. You grow up committing sin, doing different drugs, dealing with, just degenerate women, doing all these things. Then you come into the truth, like, man, I used to do that, man. What the? You're disgusted, man. There's an actual disgust, and it's a level of disgust that only comes from personal experience. That's why the Lord brought us down low so that we can understand sin firsthand. Because if you've never been through nothing, you've never seen nothing, you might be able to articulate why something is wrong, but you've never done it before. You never experienced it. So the Lord actually had us go through that first to raise up judges. And it's a spirit in these last days. You have the Lord raising up these podcast niggas. Every time you go on your phone, there's some viral video of a whore envying a righteous woman. Literally, you have black women calling other women pick me's and all sorts of crazy names because they want to serve their husband. They don't want to be a whore. They don't want to be out there. So they're attacked. You actually see this on the internet every day. There's like a civil war going on amongst Eve. You got the Keishas and you got the black women that are somewhat trying to do the right thing, and they're going at it, man. They're the so-called decent black women. I'm tired of these whores, man. They're misrepresenting us. They got men looking at me crazy. Like that's how we feel as a nation. All right, the elect, the remnant, we're looking at 2/3 like these niggas, they're making our nation look horrible in the sight of the heathen. Let me read that again because it's spiritual and it's literal too. In 2 Ezra 16:49, it says, like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. When she decketh herself and shall accuse her to her face, when he cometh that shall defend him, diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth. And that's what's coming, man. The Lord is diligently, what was that in Amos? He's searching Jerusalem with candles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on right now. There's a diligent search being performed, and there's a remnant of Israelites that are actually repenting. You got it, Doc.
Hey, searching for those that are settled on their lees. And when you're best friends with a known, satanic cuck, and you're going on his show, it seemed like every other couple of months, it sounded like you settled on your lees enough to where you wouldn't mind being here for another 1,000 years.
Yeah, that's a Jake just wax worse and worse and worse, man. Because Jake will start out listening to the apostles, getting sound doctrine. Then you go through that phase where you're like a parrot, you're repeating what you heard, and then when you break away and you start to chip away at the doctrine here a little, there a little, next thing you know, you're just completely in the world. But you're wearing fringes, you got a beard, you're reading the Bible. It looks like you're in the truth, but your mind is on Babylon continuing. Your mind is on having the hottest podcast. That's why you got to stay grounded in the scriptures, and you have to surround yourself with like-minded men. Because if you're in a body of men that are all in one spirit, then imagine you come to camp one day, you start talking about, man, we could be here another 1,000 years. You're gonna hear that sound, that Windows error message. It's gonna be like, what did you just say? You get rebuked. Now, if you're a man of the Lord, you'll be rebuked right back into your senses, and you'll be like, man, I was tripping. What the hell? But if you're a nigga, you get rebuked. It's like, okay, these guys they're doomsday prophets. They're all, they're fuddy duddies. They're what do they call it when somebody kills the party? A party pooper.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit we're in. We want this party called Babylon the Great to end. Party's over. It's being shut down. Matter of fact, it's gonna explode. You got it, Art.
And we enjoy being the party pooper.
Yeah.
We enjoy, walking into the party and flipping over the punch bowl and then laughing afterwards, laughing while everybody's like, oh my God, like sticking your hand in the cake, the happy birthday cake, just sticking your hand in it and moving it around.
Yeah. That's ultimately what Yahushua was. He was a party pooper for the scribes and Pharisees. Like, you got this table set up, he flipped the table. He was a party pooper. He literally flipped the table over. He had the cat of nine tails. He was whipping niggas. Party's over. All right. Our father's coming home,
Mm-hmm. And when father comes home and you've been bad, the only thing you're getting is that belt.
Yeah.
But you made a beautiful point, talking about, how you got these Eves out here that are trying to do right. but then you got the Keishas, talking shit about them, calling them pygmies. What have
Mhm.
we been seeing cropping up lately? A bunch of these. I'm gonna call you what you are, a bunch of niggers and niggerettes out here. Hey, the something had to honk on that.
Yeah.
You niggas and niggerettes out here coming against the Hebrew Israelites, saying, so what if so-called African Americans are the Israelites? You got Eve out here coming against the men of the Lord. You just got Jake talking shit against, the prophets, and that trickles down to, you sincere believers out there, because what? They're trying to be that virtuous, chaste
Honest.
wife under Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, while they want to continue to be a whore of this world.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And of course, the so-called white man could call himself a Jew. He could go to Israel and kill people. You niggas have nothing to say. All you niggas that have videos about the black Hebrew Israelites, this, they're wicked, they're wrong. They don't have no videos talking about Esau, Edom, destroying the earth, stealing your heritage, actually killing millions of people in our homeland while claiming to be a Jew. But then when we say we're Jews, we're just, well, you're full of hate. Who we kill? What are you talking about?
Man, off topic a little bit. I was watching a video earlier by the elder Malcolm of the Chicago camp, where he was profiling a clip showing how a bunch of U.S. soldiers are leaving the military due to what the 1948ers are doing to the Palestinians. And one guy was like, this, I have a kid with speech disabilities and learning disabilities, and I found out that those 1948ers, those soldiers over there, they took a boy who had the similar disabilities to my son and fed him to dogs. But you don't say anything about that. We're not out here, committing outright atrocities and war crimes, but what, we're the worst thing going.
Yeah.
We're the most hateful group in America. That's why, you know, again, the closer we get to the end of this thing, the more disgusted we become with you fucking niggers and spicks and tontos out here.
Yeah. And Jeremiah was the same way, man. He started out like, let's help Jake. Lord, save Jake. Then, after a while, it's like, man, let them be bereaved of their children. Lord, please kill these niggas and their children. That's what happened with the they call it a villain arc. Really, it's a hero arc of Jeremiah. He was, because all of us, we love our people at the end of the day, but we know the truth, which is that 2/3 of you got to die. All right, you have to go. You're not gonna get it according to prophecy, and the longer you niggas stay here, the worse you get. So it's better off to put you down. It's better for the Lord to just kill you.
I got that Jeremiah, Baba Kasha, read it for you real quick, because
Con.
that's what it's getting to. You, of course, we Jake and we're compassionate. When we hear about our people getting messed up, we're like, man, that's fucked up. Like, and you get angry. But then the Lord has done this to me on several occasions. I'll hear something bad happening to Jake, and I'll be like, man, that you know, it's like, man, that gets you down in the spirit. But then the Most High will send a nigger my way 5 minutes later to piss me off. It's like, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whosoever perished being innocent, man. All of these jakes that you read in these headlines that they catch it bad, the Lord had it out for him, man. It is what it is.
Kind. And when the Lord judges you Jakes out here, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shine, the angels are laughing up in the spirit world. Like, you know, they're laughing at how at that judgment that went down on you, just as the men of the Lord are gonna laugh at you during Jacob's trouble. That Proverbs chapter 1. In the
God,
day when you shall cry and weep unto me, I'm gonna laugh at you.
God. Yeah, I got it whenever you're ready. You want to get that
Con,
Jeremiah first?
con. This is
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 20. Shall evil, well, actually, I'll start at verse 19. Give heed to me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away thy wrath from them. Verse 21. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows, and let their men be put to death, let their young men be slain by the sword in battle.
Beautiful. So Jeremiah put curses on you niggas, man. All right. And he said, why? Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them. Remember, I came to you, I said, look, these are people, we're under the curses. They really mean well. Lord, please deliver us. Then you try to tell Jake the truth. If you repent, the Lord is merciful. He'll grant you mercy if you repent. Jake actually hates to hear that. What you mean you want me to give up pork? What are you talking about, dude? Fuck you. It's like, okay, you love pork more than you love the creator of heaven and earth. All right, Lord, just please kill them and their children. That's where we're at with it. Like, we can't wait to see Zechariah 13:8 come to pass, because we know, again, going back to what the brother was saying earlier, the truth gives you the answers. If you don't have the truth and you just see millions of niggas getting killed by the government, you're gonna bug out. These pro-black niggas are gonna bug out. Nation of Islam, they're gonna bug out. These other Israelite groups that say there's no Jacob's trouble, they're gonna bug out. The Lord's already prepared us mentally and spiritually for what's about to happen. So when we see it, we're gonna rejoice. All right. Now we're still in the flesh. There are gonna be moments where you're like, whoa, whoa, you know. What was that? Habakkuk, he was like, were you angry with the rivers?
Con,
The level of death is gonna be, it's gonna make even men of the Lord, we're gonna be, like I said, we're still in the flesh, but spiritually, we're not gonna lose our minds, we're not gonna bug out, and we're not gonna start, cussing out the Lord for what he does to our people, because we know that the judgment is earned. We know these niggas have it coming.
Con. I'm gonna read one more verse for you, but it gets to a point sometimes when Jake just gets you there that you get excited when you see all these new weapons that Esau's coming out with, these robots, these,
Yeah,
you're just like, oh man, that thing was created to judge a particular wicked Jake out here.
yeah. Put the article a couple of days ago. Esau got a robot that could do kung fu now, man. That's gonna kick Jake, just kick a nigga head off, man.
It reminds me of this movie where this android threw a basketball at this lady's head and her head just exploded.
Hey, that's what's coming. Hey, Esau still got them. This was maybe 6, 7 years ago. He made them the robots that they're fueled by dead bodies. So
Hmm.
they'll kill you and then eat you, and then the fuel from your body keeps the robot going. That's gonna be on these streets in Jacob's trouble, man. The nigga eating robots, man.
And there was an anime that came out back in the 80s called MD Geist, which had robots that did that. They called it the Death Force,
Mm.
and it was a doomsday weapon that got active. The thumbs up. It was a doomsday weapon that got activated when one side in this war lost. So when they lost, these robots were just going around deleting people and then just
Mm.
eating them and just getting powered back up to go just continue doing the work.
God.
But
Yeah,
this is
the most high got death angels, Esau got death angels, and the men of the Lord, at one point we're gonna get that power. We're gonna be death angels. There's no hope for the 2/3.
exactly, for wickedness. There's no hope. This world is quickly passing away, and if you don't want to pass away with it, it would behoove you to diligently take heed to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
God.
But this is Jeremiah 18:22. Let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares for my feet.
Yeah, they wanted to kill Jeremiah. All right, which these people want to kill us. These niggas that are making videos about the Hebrew Israelite, if they could, they would kill us. They would turn us into Esau. Hey, it's them right there. I saw him. He was preaching that Yahushai, that nonsense. Get him. These people want us dead, man. And when you come to the truth, you have to understand that. All right, Jake thinks that okay, I'm serving the Lord. I'm righteous, so nothing bad is going to happen to me. No, these people want you dead. They view you the same way you view them, which is scum. All right, let me get that in Proverbs real quick.
Con. It's it, it's coming to a point to where heads are gonna butt, and the head of the hopeful elect is iron. while the head of the wicked of our people, and the wicked people of this world in general, is clay. And
Mhm.
was it say in Revelation chapter 2 that that iron rod is going to break the people, like into shards because there is clay. And that's
Yeah,
talking about the heathens going into slavery. But for the analogy, our headbutt, our spiritual headbutt, is going to be harder than your carnal headbutt.
kind. Let me read this real quick. This we go into this all the time, but it's important for Jake to understand this. This Amos 5:10. They hate they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
That's straight to the point. Read it again, Akbaba Gashad.
Kind. This Amos chapter 5, verse 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
And those are two very strong, passionate words. You hate and abhor them that rebuketh in the gate, speaking of the men of the Lord. And what's it saying, Isaiah 30? Prophesy not unto us harsh things, but prophesy unto us those smooth and sweet things. Jake wants to hear that, I can go out to Mardi Gras, catch some dirty beads that an Edomite had in his mouth a couple of hours earlier, and then some Dudley DeBoja beads, and it's a joke. And then
It's
come Ash Wednesday, you know, I can get some fireplace ashes on my forehead, and then not eat meat, you know, for the next 40 Fridays until Easter. Just folly after folly after folly. I can go and get that bag. I can go to church on Sunday, you know, I can just have a good old time, which is not what the truth is preaching. The truth is preaching what? That the fashion of this world is passing away, and it's going to pass away violently, and violently on those that want to cling on to this burning house.
gone. Just real quick though, this is Proverbs 29:27. It says, an unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
Hey,
So yeah, yeah.
you got it. You got it. I.
Yeah, so when you come into the truth and you serve the Lord, these people that aren't serving the Lord, they're looking at you as wicked. They're looking at you as an abominable thing because you put off the ways of this world. And it's like that with anything. If you have somebody that loves something, they love it with all their heart and soul, and you hate it, you become an enemy to them. And these people love the world. They love Christmas, they love Mardi Gras, they love eating pork, they love shrimp, catfish, they love adultery, they love demonic
Gyrating.
music. Hmm?
They love gyrating.
Yeah, they love gyrating. That's the inside. But also, they love this world. So you prophesying that the Lord is going to destroy this place, you're an abomination to these people, Jake. You're not righteous in the eyes of these people. You're righteous in the eyes of Yahweh, while Yahweh shy, and that's all that matters. But these people, they're not looking at you like, oh, that's my cousin. He's a man of the Lord. No, that's that Bible nigga. That's that nigga that believed the white man is the devil. He's racist. They look at you as crazy, Jake.
That lame.
Yeah, and lame and square, green. You're just soft, weak. These people think we're choir boys. They think the worst about us, man. They're not your friend, Jake. These people in the world are not your fucking friend. You got to get that through your head, Jake.
And what does it say all throughout the scriptures? A man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Yeah,
The people that are going to come against you the hardest are your own loved ones. And what? Our nation is going to be the one that's going to come against us, the hardest. What's this say in I know it's in the New Testament, it's like when they slay you, they shall think that they're doing the work of the Lord,
yeah,
because they're bugged out with Christianity, and they're bugged out with Esau, which is all about love, 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 and doing cartwheels. When the truth is about what? Showing you that no, this world is something to be hated and despised. The same
uh,
thing with the people that are in it. And it reminds me of the Matrix, where Morpheus was telling Neo,
uh,
he's like, look, some of these people are just so ingrained in the system that they will fight us to the death to keep it going.
yeah. He said anyone that's not woken up out of the matrix is potentially an enemy because they're still part of the system. So they're still invested in keeping it going. And ultimately, if you're still in the matrix, you don't understand that there's a real world outside of that. You don't know that there's Zion, which that movie was spiritual, but they're heavily invested in keeping the society going because it's all they know and it's all they love. But I got that John for you.
Con, you got it.
This is the gospel according to St. John, chapter 16, verse 1, this is red letters. This is Yahushua warning us. He says, "These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service."
Hey, and our apostles and elders, they were put out of the synagogue in the past with the One West days, you know, yeah, the Cornelius Council, just to give an example, which I'm not going to go into that because, I wasn't there. I'm just using that as an example of what our apostles and elders said. But what these other camps out here are putting GMS out of the synagogue spiritually. They're separating us into our own little corner, saying, they're PDF files, they're grapists, they're the worst thing going. And a lot of them, at this point it's looking like a lot of them have taken the bag. So when Esau drops that hammer on all of us as a whole, they're going to be the first ones to throw us under the bus and say, look, we got the 501c3, we're cool. It's them that was causing the problems. Hey, what did those wicked Sadducees and Pharisees say? If we don't get rid of Yahushua, the Romans shall come and take away everything that we have.
Yeah, that's the spirit that these other Israelites are in, because they're part of Esau's society. They're part of his government. They have what's called a 501c3 charter, which means they've made an agreement with the devil. Or here it is, you're prophesying against the devil, but your organization has a contract with the devil, showing you Jake ain't right, man. But like the brother said, there's going to come a point when Esau rolls on Israel. All of these Israelites that aren't actually in the truth, they're going to point their finger at us, and not just GMS, but any Israelite that's actually teaching the raw truth of the Bible. They're going to be, oh, those guys are the problem. You had that one. This was a few years ago. They had this married couple, this bald-headed nigga and his wife.
The
They
Watchtower
make,
or something.
yeah. They make horrible videos. That's the opposite of edification. But some situation happened where the Hebrew Israelites were in the news for like 2 days. They uploaded a video saying we're not Hebrew Israelites. We're just Israelite. We're just black people. They folded, man. But Esau didn't even roll. He just made a headline. He just made an article, and they completely just folded and buckled.
Hey, you can't trust a nigga with some sloping shoulders.
Yeah, and a bald ass head. Nigga said. Anyway, that's all. He's off. Him and his wife are both off, and she's the head of that household. All right, all you jakes that do videos with your woman, all right, your woman speaking, you just sitting there looking simple. You niggas are still Baptists. All right, you might read the Torah. All right, you might have the fringes. You niggas are still Baptists, man.
Shalom family.
Yeah, you Shalom family niggas, man. Lord's gonna kill you and your family. But it says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service.
And they're trying to kill us spiritually right now. And when Esau rolls down, they're gonna have no issues throwing us under the bus. They think, as it says in Isaiah chapter 29, that their covenant with death, that with them being in agreement and having that covenant with death or Esau, that what? It won't be disannulled. But if you keep reading down, it says your covenant with death will be disannulled. And when that hail and that great storm comes in, I'm butchering. I don't want to butcher it.
No, I like it because it goes into the refuge of lies. Like our people use lies for a covering. All right, going back to what Isaiah the 30th chapter, but this is Isaiah 28, and we'll start at
14.
14. God, the heading says Judah is warned. Hey, getting on you niggas. But inside, this is Isaiah.
Judah.
Yeah. Isaiah 28 and 14, it says, wherefore hear the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Ye scornful men which rule this people which is in Jerusalem. These heads out here, saying that they got the truth, riding on horses, making AI generated videos, going on podcasts, driving up in their Hellcats,
God. Verse 15, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, For
And
we
that's
have
what.
made lies.
Oh, finish it out, Baba Kasha. Baba Kasha.
Yeah, Con. It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
And the brother Kalila always brings up that analogy. If you got a that you came up with, that if you got a glass of water filled to the top and it's got a 0.01 pieces of shit in it, are are you gonna drink that water? Of course not. Nobody in their right mind would. So what? If you got a little leaven in this truth, that leaven it the whole lump, and you got to throw out everything you say. And that's what you false prophets do. You'll say a few right things here and there, a few edifying things, but what? You've compromised yourself. You made that covenant with death, and clearly are speaking lies out here. When you don't say what the mark of the beast truly is, you're clearly a liar and full of falsehood. And you think that just because you're living high off the hog right now, that nothing bad's gonna come your way, that you're just gonna be chilling, flying around on the soul plane and having a good time.
Con. Yeah, the Most High. I, you niggas that have kids, you have children, all right, and you playing games with the Lord, like you don't understand that could come back and fall on not only your own head but the head of your family. Watching your children get tortured in front of you, Jake really thinks, okay, because I have a 501c3, Esau is gonna treat me good in that day. Man, this devil is gonna roll on anything resembling an Israelite. All right, these Hamites are gonna catch hell in that day. These niggas that came from Africa over here, Esau's not gonna stop and say, okay, you're a Hamite, you're cool. Man, anything resembling a Jake, even confusion of face, the heathen. That's like it. The Israelites that look like heathen, they're gonna catch hell. Esau's not spiritual. He's not about to test the spirit by the spirit. No, anything that's not down with the agenda, anything that hasn't taken the charagma, he's gonna put down, man.
Hey,
Jake think he's gonna be safe because he signed a contract with Esau Edom. This man broke 400 treaties with Gad and Reuben.
hey, Esau's not gonna be half stepping when it comes to fulfilling his NWO, which is why you Israelites shouldn't be half stepping when it comes to this truth.
God. Yeah, the elites on both sides, Jacob and Esau, we going hard. Abaratazah, we continue and we're up that number. We're going hard for the kingdom of heaven. Esau's going hard for the kingdom of Satan. What are the rest of you niggas doing? But it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
And we know that tried cornerstone is speaking of Yahushai, which is what does it say in the New Testament? That's the stone that the builders rejected. Those wicked Jakes and Pharisees and Sadducees back then rejected Yahushai. And what? We're coming in the spirit of Yahushai, so we're getting rejected by them coming back in the spirit of their fathers, the devil, as they were in the past.
God. And that's who this whole ministry is about, Yahushai. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place.
Hey, when that enemy comes in like a flood, when Esau comes down, which is ultimately the judgment of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, it's sweeping away the refuge of lies, and you're going to be swept away with it. And ultimately, that great hail that's coming is going to be the nuclear missiles.
God. It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it.
Hey, just backing up what the brother said, Esau is not going to take the time to differentiate between, oh, you were doing this or you doing that. He's coming down like a madman on Jake as a whole. But when you continue reading in that second Ezra 16, it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua is going to be our God in that day. Abaratazah of that number. And what? For us to fear not. That's what we put all our chips in. A wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but a fool passeth on and is punished. So, bringing it back around to what we started off with this lesson, you got the majority of our people out here in this folly spirit, and what? That's ultimately going to lead to them laughing now but crying later. which we'll close out back in that Luke. But shalom, to the brothers on the comment board, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And before we close out with that Luke, I'm gonna read the brother Yaash's precept, 2nd Esdras 15 verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Going back to that Luke, what it say? Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. As the brother put in that 2nd Esdras 15, we're not supposed to fear these things. And as it says in Luke, we are blessed being, hated and cast out by this world. Because what does it mean? We're being cast into the arms of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, the loving arms, which this truth in the end is going to pay dividends.
God is going to say, let's get back to that. This is verse 23. It says, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets.
Hey, they oh, you got it.
Jeremiah. We just read it. You got it.
Oh no. Hey, beautiful point. Our forefathers, the prophets in the past were persecuted, but what? It said, great was their joy which is in heaven, which is in the kingdom to come, which is quickly coming. And what did Yahushua say to Peter when he asked him, what shall we receive for giving up everything? He said, you shall receive houses and wives and children and lands 100-fold. 100-fold with the pink slip still on it, brand new.
Brand new, undefiled. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation.
Hey, woe unto you that are looking to stay here for another 1,000 years, lest ye repent. Woe to you jakes out here that are looking to get the bag and have gotten the bag, because you've already received your consolation. You received a bunch of FRN notes, which are quickly losing value and are about to go digital.
God. It says, woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep.
Straight to the point. You're full, having a good time, eating that cheese-filled pretzel, on St. Charles Street down here, enjoying the parade. Woe to you are a fool and that are laughing now, because you're very, very soon, you're about to starve and weep and mourn, because the judgments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai are quickly coming down the pipeline. And as it said in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, then shall they know it after death by pain. But that was it on my end. You had any closing points you wanted to make?
No, that's it. Point's been made.
Kind. And so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this lesson. And before we get out of here, again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Barakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word and truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom.
Shalom.